Keeping it real.
Special report. Someone has attempted to assassinate the former president, Donald Trump. This is a monumental story that will be in the record books for all time. So it needs to be talked about. And today, that is what we're going over, is the facts that we have up to this point. On Saturday, multiple shots were taken at him. Let's cover the facts and then go on to speculation, which I don't mind putting my 2 cents in to give you a better view of what could possibly be the scenario. There's facts and there's fiction. There's false flags, there's psy-ops, and then there's reality. Let's see where the current information falls in all of this. I can't give you a definitive answer on anything, but I would like to help you form a more comprehensive picture of what may be happening here right now than what the media is painting a picture of. The media always paints a picture that is best for the New World Order consensus than what is best for you to know. Right now, as I am reporting to you on Sunday after the attempt, these are the facts I know. On Saturday, July 13th, 2024, former President Donald Trump was the target of an apparent assassination attempt at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. We got to say apparent because, listen, we don't know if this was staged or if it was really an attempt, because the government has done such crazy shit at this point. We don't know what's true and what's not. This could all be literally staged or for television, cinema, propaganda, whatever way you want to look at it. The visions that we receive through our media devices and television can all paint a very realistic vision to us on the other side, especially accompanying the dictates that are given to us by the media that delivers it, leaving us with very little room to decide what is real and what is not. So what you should think about is, do I believe this little piece of reality they're giving me? Or was there planning? Was there a false flag? Was there a psy-op involved in this? Was there a great deal put into this that I am not aware of? So just keep that in mind as I read along. The incident occurred when a gunman identified as Thomas Matthew Crooks. This is the person they identified as the lone gunman that did this. 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks opened fire on the rally from a rooftop perch about 130 yards away. I've seen multiple accounts, even as close as 40 yards reported as well. That's very confusing to me at this point, how any place in this venue could not have been covered by the security detail, 40 yards or 130 yards. I'll leave it there for now. Trump was struck in the ear and was rushed off stage by Secret Service agents in his detail. Okay, let's get to the facts of the incident. The shooting occurred at the Butler Farm Show grounds in Butler County, Pennsylvania. Trump was speaking to a crowd of several hundred people when the shots were fired. The gunman, identified, as I told you, Thomas Matthew Crooks, was killed by Secret Service agents. One person attending the rally was killed, and 2 others were critically injured. Trump was treated for a bullet wound to his ear and was later released from the hospital. Look for the video. It should be easy to find. Reaction and investigation. President Joe Biden has condemned the attack, calling it sick and unheard of in American politics. Well, it's happened before. It's not unheard of. Prompting the public to unite. For a one-world government, the FBI is investigating the incident, and authorities are reviewing security footage and interviewing witnesses. The Secret Service is also investigating the incident, and officials are reviewing protocols for protecting the former president. Trump has been criticized for his response to this incident. Some are accusing him of downplaying the severity of the attack. If you watch his response after being shot at, you may say, it is a little bit unusual, unless he's just a man forged in steel and just a complete badass. Maybe you think that way. Now, I think, why would Trump downplay this? Unless he was part of planning the whole production to begin with. Meaning he knew it wasn't real instead of actually there being a threat on his life. It's hard to act like it's so serious when, in fact, you know it's not. Final context here is the attack has raised concerns about political violence in the United States, particularly in the lead up to the 2024 presidential election, as we all probably suspected would be an issue. The incident has sparked a national conversation about gun control, go figure, and the need for stricter laws to prevent such attacks in the future. Gun control or a ban increase isn't coming. My prediction. Also, I wouldn't put it past the government to drop some outrageous new restrictions on personal freedom. All overly emotional people will support something like this without realizing it's a straight shaft up their ass. Not a way to provide more safety or more freedom. And we've seen it before. The example is 9/11 and the Patriot Act. Blow up some buildings, terrorists are everywhere, pass the Patriot Act, everybody seems to agree with it. What do you know? They're tapping every phone. They are given new powers to condemn people to prison without any due process, indefinitely. I mean, all sorts of horrible things happened from the Patriot Act, and nobody questioned it. Just because of what happened on 9/11, we lost so many freedoms. Many people do forget that. So I would say, don't let that slip your mind here, because this is the perfect kind of incident to introduce more tyrannical bills, more tyrannical legislation, FEMA camps, crazy stuff. I mean, martial law, gun bans, anything that could chip away at your freedom. They're going to look at this as a dynamite opportunity. If it wasn't planned, then it's a great opportunity to stick a knife in your back from the government's point of view, to gain more control over you as a sovereign individual and take some freedoms from you. That's what they would love. And that's why I look at most of these incidents as false flags, psy-ops, or something planned of that nature. I just don't trust them. They've done it too many times in the past. So here it looks like it could be another. And if it's not, well, then they never let an incident of this nature go to waste. If they didn't plan it, then they're going to use it to their advantage to get more control over you by using your emotions and the impact of the incident to sway you to their side, to vote for the very thing that will condemn you to a prison of their choosing. Upon learning about this event, I decided I needed to look into it a little bit more, even though there's not tons of information. But I wanted to snoop and see, with my very unique insight and ability to decipher information, different from most people anyways, what do I see? What could possibly be some things that are unusual or unique to this situation that I could offer a point of view on that maybe would help the folks out there understand a little better what could possibly be happening with this assassination attempt. The attempts on Big T's life brought me some interesting moments, and I wrote them down in my notes on my phone, and I'm going to share them with you. It was fired from an AR-15 rifle. Now, remember, they've been trying to ban AR-15s for a long time because they are assault rifles. You can use them for hunting as well. Now, whether it's got a 30-shot clip or you're using it in semi-automatic and you're firing one shot at a time, it doesn't make a difference. It's a fucking rifle. But they made sure and pointed this out. It's an AR-15 rifle. Now, the building that it was shot from was suspiciously overlooked by security. And if you see the grounds where Mr. Trump gave his speech, there's not a whole lot of buildings around. This is like a damn field or a hangar or something, or an industrial space. Security didn't have much to go look around at. And they left that one building overlooked. Now, you will find pictures of them mounted up on other buildings, but they just forgot about that one. One dead spectator, supposedly, 2 injured spectators, and a grazed ear on Trump. Also, the shooter was immediately spotted and gunned down. Remember, just because it's reported doesn't mean it's true or that there isn't omissions of the truth to steer public opinion. Why do I say this? Do you find that odd at all? If you watch the video, there's like somewhere between 7 and 9 shots. Now, this guy shot at President Trump at least 7 or 8 times because only one shot was from the sniper that connected with him, supposedly, where they were set up. And I am talking about the security service sniper that recognized him after he took a couple shots. He lined him up that freaking quick and shot and killed him. How the fuck did you do that unless you knew where he was at? Listen to the gunshots on the film. It doesn't make any sense to me, personally. And this guy got off that many shots. And not only did he only graze the ear of Donald Trump, why aren't there more people dead or injured? One person dead, 2 people injured, Donald Trump with a grazed ear. There was a crowd surrounding Donald Trump. I don't understand how more people are not injured from this. And I also do not understand how they were completely unaware of his presence. Then he takes a couple shots, laying prone on top of a building, and a sniper from completely the other side, like 2 or 3 buildings away. There's only like 4 or 5 buildings here to begin with, and they're all big hangar-type buildings, big industrial buildings or factory buildings. So all of a sudden, he takes a couple shots, and one guy just notices him. Hey, I heard a bullet being fired. Well, it's going to take a while to look around and spot somebody from far away and line up your shot and take it and kill him. No, it happened instantaneously. Either he's that good or that's a bullshit story. Next, I noticed Trump was allowed by security to take his time. He was given a perfect photo opportunity where he emerges from the Secret Service and he puts his fist up yelling, "Fight." He says it like 2 or 3 times with blood on his face and the American flag hovering above him, like a perfectly set up photo shoot. Well, look at the photo. Tell me it doesn't look like it was set up. Hey, I'm making a just very unbiased judgment from what I looked and saw. You see what you find from these pictures or videos and say it doesn't look like it was set up. This is another very nice thing the security service did. Under the threat of death, shots being fired, they allowed him time to stop and put on his shoe because he asked to, besides the fist pumping and telling everybody to fight. There's no real sense of emergency here, from what I notice. It seems like it's all just a big fucking act to me. It seems like a show. At this point, he's still on stage, like I said, instead of being rushed out in danger. Most security services would pick your ass up and haul you off, fighting, screaming, struggling. They would have no respect for whatever you said. Their number one mission, what they are paid for, is to save your life and get you out of danger. So that is another fact to look at and go, this doesn't add up. Whether you like Donald Trump or not, whether you like the government or not, I look at what is a false flag. I look at psychological operations. I look at things that are set up to fool the public and that the news media are complicit in helping carry the storyline with because they're delivered it before the operation takes place. They read it. It's basically another form of acting, another form of Hollywood. These reporters are not anything special. They know how to read lines like an actor does, and they look pretty doing it. That's the same thing. They're an actor. And remember, in this moment of danger, nobody has any idea if there's 1 shooter or 5 shooters or how many people are shooting at the stage. They still allow Donald Trump to take his time lollygagging around, putting on his shoe and pumping his fist saying fight. Pick him up and drag his ass off the stage. You don't know what's going to happen next. If you're one of those Secret Service agents, you're thinking, I'm going to take a bullet for this guy fucking around. I'm carrying him off stage. you do not wait unless maybe you know something about what's going on. Possibly you know the scenario playing out. It's a possibility. Just guessing. Nothing's for sure, but hey, I'm just saying, contemplate what I'm giving you. Don't just take the facts that they're dishing out. Okay, before the shots, weeks before, I found assloads of articles circulating talking about assassinating Donald Trump. Many of them were hinting at Biden legally being allowed to do it. Biden assassinating Trump? Look that up and see what you find. I found multiple articles. How was the supposed assassin allowed so close to set up for the shot? This is very problematic for me. Another thing that was weird, this is not confirmed, he was previously in a BlackRock commercial, the shooter. Unconfirmed source I got that from. Maybe bullshit. Okay, also, there's a civilian that is on the record on video that noticed him climbing a ladder on top of the building with a possible rifle and warned the security detail, yet no one responded. Nobody did anything. That is very odd that no one took it seriously. But there's more things that are odd than that. Reports on site say security was moving media and spectators away from the direction that the gunfire was coming from before it ever happened. And this is probably not to save anyone, but to prevent extra camera footage from being captured, in my opinion, personally. That's what I derive. So how does security miss a ladder open from the ground to the building top that is right next to Trump's speech? How do you miss that? Agents should have been on the roof or disabled the ladder access. Also, after a shooting does occur, the training is to cover your asset in 3 seconds or less. It's called bullet sponge. That's what you are. That's what you signed up for, to be security detail to the president. Reaction time analysis from one of the professionals I listened to said all the reactions were grossly negligent considering the responsibility of the job, which he says would normally be considered treason, especially overlooking the sniper position that this guy was found in. It's not like we're in the middle of the city and there's 30 buildings surrounding that he could do it in and multiple different levels and windows that the guy could be hiding in. It's pretty damn simple. How do you overlook that? I know accidents happen, but seriously? Well, as far as I know, that's it. You know what I know now? And all I can say is this little stunt or incident, whichever one it is, it pretty much guarantees Donald Trump is going to be the next president. Because who's going to vote for Biden after Donald Trump took a bullet coming at him and stood up better than Joe Biden does on a daily basis? President Trump stands up after a bullet grazes his ear and pumps his fist by the American flag yeah, he's got it. Sorry, that's your next president. Unless there's another attempt and they kill him. So that's the up-to-date on the Trump assassination attempt. The best I can give it to you with the facts we know as of now, with a little bit of a supplemental input from my point of view. And you should consider the fact that I am telling you there's always false flags. There's always psychological operations. There's always a bit of pernicious manipulation being done by the United States government, or any government for that fact. So at least keep it in mind that there's a possibility this is a show. But I think there's too little people that will keep this in consideration. The thing that saddens me is the elections are a farce anyways, Republican or Democrat. The presidents are controlled CEOs of the United States of America that are controlled by the Federal Reserve, the International Monetary Fund. These guys don't run shit. They're just putting on a show. As I said with the gladiators, it's a show to entertain the public. Give them food and games and entertain them, and they won't care what's going on. That's the way I feel. Until next time, you know what's happening this day in history. Thanks for joining in. This is Jay Scott signing out from Keeping It Real. Until next time, much love to you out there. Take care.
Open your eyes, don't accept the lies. Mask coming down, truth can be found. Propaganda's filled your cup. Throw it out now and listen up. Keeping it real, keeping it real. Keeping it real, keeping it real.
Hey, thanks for joining in. If you're enjoying this podcast, please rate, review, comment, subscribe, and if so inclined, please support the podcast for as low as $1 a month, or you can leave me a tip. Look down below in the description.